The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
What's up, everybody? It's the week of February 1st, 2021. My name is Taylor Cooper. This is Might Be Sports. With me, as always, Kevin Reevy. What's going on, Reevy?
Yo, let's have some fun. We've been drinking.
I've been drinking. I just started drinking, so we'll see how it goes to the rest of the show.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, but it's Super Bowl week, man. Are you excited?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
This is Super Bowl pledge week. Let's do this, buddy. Let's get wasted every day. It's snow day today.
Yeah, dude.
Let's just do it.
Snow day today, and it was a crazy weekend without football after such a good playoffs. You know what I mean? And I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I've already voiced my opinion on the whole Tom Brady scenario and becoming the greatest of all time if he isn't already, and all that stuff if he wins on Sunday. But I have a good feeling about the game. I'm excited about the game. I really haven't been excited about football in general all year because the Eagles were trash. So I feel like it's a nice change of pace to be excited for it, for once. It's been a rough year. It's been a rough year in football. You know what I mean? Like, you have such high expectations for your favorite team, and to have them just really aggressively diminished was kind of tough to handle this year. But I'm excited for the Super Bowl. It's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be my favorite day of the year. I'm a big Christmas guy, but the Super Bowl has a special place in my heart. And I say almost every year, when inevitably Tom Brady is in the Super Bowl and I have to explain why I'm rooting for Tom Brady. The reason why I'm so diehard an Eagles fan that I hate the Giants with a passion. I mean, if you have a hero, there must be a villain. Batman to Joker. The Eagles are my Batman. The Giants are my Joker. I mean, the Cowboys, I'm 37 years old. The Cowboys were good in the early 90s, but then that was about it. I mean, I was 12 years old when the Cowboys last had any kind of reign on the NFC East. So the Giants have been the thorn in my side ever since then. So those two Super Bowls versus the Patriots, I was a diehard Patriots fan.
Right.
I did not want Eli Manning and the goddamn Giants to win those Super Bowls. And like we said last week, not going to get into it for like the 8th week in a row, but that damn David Tyree catch. It's just these two Super Bowls where, Brady just couldn't solve them. It doesn't matter to me that Brady beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl in 2004. It doesn't matter. It all comes down to those two Super Bowls since, when the Giants beat them. It's done. That game means so much to me, and I hate the Giants so much that I became a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
And it can't be undone until the Patriots do something so vile to me or Tom Brady. And that might have happened in 2016 when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. If Brady and the Patriots beat us, that would have been it. That would have broken it. I would have hated them for the rest of time.
Yeah.
We won. So, it's just right now I'm Team Brady. I'm Team Patriots. So right now Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl with Rob Gronkowski. I'm on board. I am loving this.
It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy
right now.
So the Tom Brady and the Patriots and now the Bucks. It's such a weird thing for me because typically I crave greatness in sports. Like, I grew up as a child in a place that didn't have a local professional team. So I just followed the greats. I followed Michael Jordan. I followed Dan Marino, Joe Montana. Like, that's who I grew up cheering for, was the best guys. I wanted the best players to win. I didn't really know much about the teams or care much about any of that shit, whatever. But then, like, So normally I would have loved the Patriots and Tom Brady, but I had a favorite player in the league, and that was Peyton Manning. So like I had this whole like in that Peyton Brady rivalry, especially when he played for the Colts,
Right.
was a bitter thing. That was the primetime game whenever they played. It was all over TV the whole week. It was basically like Super Bowl media all week. Peyton versus Brady, 4. Peyton versus Brady 5, and it's like a boxing match. And then it happened a bunch in the playoffs, and it was this whole thing. So of course I hated Tom Brady because of it, and of course I hated the Patriots because of it. But realistically speaking, like I would have loved them if it wasn't for Peyton Manning. Because I love the Warriors. I like Steph Curry. You know what I mean? I like watching even LeBron James, as much as I hate on him. I enjoy watching him being a great athlete for the great teams that he assembles in the NBA. So, like, even if it frustrates me, like, I appreciate the greatness. I appreciate the historical aspect of it. You know what I mean? But fuck the Patriots and fuck Tom Brady. And I'm upset because the Buccaneers, I mean, it's like I feel like they assembled a dream team for Brady this year. So it just kind of feels cheesy to me. But at the same time, like, whatever. It is what it is. It's going to be a good game. And if this was Patrick Mahomes' first time in the Super Bowl, I would feel like the Bucs were going to run the table with them, just totally smash them. But since it's his second one, I feel like he's going to be a lot more comfortable out there. I feel like Patrick Mahomes got this. I really do. I really do feel like that. Andy Reid has this. Like, I don't know. Bruce Arians is a great coach too, so it's going to be a tough game. Like, I'm really excited about it. I am. I'm excited for it.
I think so too. I mean, I think I want Brady and the Buccaneers to win, but I believe that the Chiefs have the edge.
Yeah.
And I think right now, the line right now is 3 points. I don't think it's going to be that.
Mm-mm.
When the game kicks off, and I think it started at 3.5, and it's going the direction I didn't expect it to go. I don't think this game kicks off at 3 points. I don't believe it. I think the Chiefs have an edge here. They won the damn thing last year. I mean, Mahomes is unshakable. I just think we're putting too much stock in a quarterback that's over 40 years old. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So the safe bet, the easy bet is the Chiefs. And I think, forget the home field advantage thing. It's the Super Bowl. It's a nice story, but it's not really real, I don't think.
It's the one year that it could have actually meant something, but it's not going to.
It's not going to now.
It's not going to now because of the amount of people that they're letting in there and the price of the tickets. It's going to be a bunch of who knows who fans there, and most of them are probably going to be famous. I would imagine.
And there is
right?
something to be said. There's something to be said for being your home field, where you have the routine, where to go to the game from your house,
the locker room.
You drive in the locker room.
Yep.
The routine is the same, fine. But how much does that really matter when the game kicks off? So, I just feel like I'm going to be rooting for the Buccaneers, but I feel like this is the Chiefs' game. And 3 points? 3 points seems like.
Well,
I mean, shoot, this is wild.
The over/under is the over/under is like what, 56 or something like that. So like they're predicting it to be a high scoring shootout kind of game. So 3 points really might not be that far off if it is that kind of game where it's just, touchdown, or, whatever. But it's going to be, I mean, this is when you get into professional sports and you start watching it, you want it to be the best versus the best in the end, right? You want it to be the best game possible. And I'm looking back on the playoff field, and I really don't think that there's a better end matchup than this, right? I mean, it's the best quarterbacks. It's the best quarterbacks in both, conferences. It's the best everything. Best coaches. It's the best that are left, and this is going to be a really, really good game.
I mean, it made 2020 worth it. I mean, everyone that died from coronavirus, it was all worth it to get to this point, right?
This is the most epic game ever.
But
Shout
real
out to
talk.
everybody who died from COVID.
This is the Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl we wanted. This is the Super Bowl we needed. This is so great. This is the one, Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady. I mean, this should make you think that life is actually scripted. We're all just part of a Matrix game. Because, good Lord, we go through all that shit, and it ends up Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I couldn't be more excited. This is the greatest thing for me. I cannot wait for this weekend. I was excited when the Birds were in the game, but there was also the nervousness. Like, my God, the whole day I'm thinking, what if we lose?
Right.
This is a great day, but if you lose, it's the worst day.
It's the worst day.
I mean, secret time. I cried when the Eagles lost in 2005.
Yeah.
When they lost, I called my mom. I was quite drunk then. I called my mom and I cried a little bit and said, it's just not fair. That, like, why can't we win one of these goddamn things? Like, 4 straight NFC championships. Like, we finally break through and we lose in the Super Bowl. And we had the lead at halftime. We had the lead. It's just not fair. So this last time, I have that in the back of my mind, and I'm nervous. So there was excitement. I was excited for the game, but also the knowledge in the back of my mind that this could be a very bad day in the history of my life.
Yeah.
So, like, this game, I have no real stock in who wins or loses. I hope for a great game. And, man, if Patrick Mahomes wins, cool. That would be great. I mean, he's looking like he's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Awesome. If Tom Brady wins, how insane a story is that? It's like a Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods thing. Just add it on. Just add to your legacy. I love that shit. Michael Jordan is one of my favorite basketball players of all time. Tiger Woods is my favorite golfer of all time. And that makes me sound like a front runner, but I love greatness.
You love greatness. I relate on every level except for Tom Brady. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. It really does.
I can't lose because Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes' dad was a pitcher in Major League Baseball. So you know my baseball ties. I love the guy. I mean, I can do no wrong here. It's all good things. I can't wait for the game. It should be a national holiday. I'm so excited for this game. I cannot wait.
It's going to be incredible. I think it is going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a electrifying game. I don't think it's going to be one of those defensive struggling, back and forth, punt, field goal here and there. I think these guys are going to run up the score on Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm picking the Chiefs, man. I'm picking the Chiefs. I'll take them by 4. I'll just take them by 4. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm not good with like the point thing. And when I bet, and it's not often, I just do the money line. I just choose a team to win, and that's it. So I'm not sure by what. It just seems weird that the point spread now is 3 points. I think it should be more. But I mean, that being said, I think the Bucs can win this game. Absolutely.
Well,
but
I think it's very challenging, I would assume, for the average gambler to bet against Tom Brady. You look at his track record, and it doesn't matter what team he's playing for or who's coaching him. It's hard to bet against Tom Brady, and I've done it every single time he's been in the Super Bowl, and I haven't had a great winning percentage. So,
but that seems like a math trap. That's where you say you tell yourself you can't bet against Tom Brady. But let's be real. I mean, he had bad games this year. He's had bad games before.
He had a bad game last week or the week before, whatever it was, against Green Bay. He threw 3 picks and they won.
Exactly. he had the greatest game anyone's ever played in the Super Bowl ever, and he lost to Nick Foles.
Correct.
I mean, he threw over 500 yards. He had an amazing game. There is a case to be made that he was the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually,
absolutely.
If he caught that pass, that trick play pass, if he caught that ball, the game might be over. The Patriots might win.
And if
that
he-
was
and if he-
one blemish on that game for him.
And if he caught that pass, he would have been the greatest quarterback of all time. But
Right.
he didn't.
And
So he's not.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. You're getting me to agree with you.
He's obviously not the best quarterback
He is
ever.
the greatest quarterback of all time.
Obviously not. It's clear. It's clear cut.
Peyton Lansing, whatever his name is, he's been gone for a while. He's been out of the league for a while.
About to go to the Hall of Fame. First ballot Hall of Fame.
That Peyton guy.
5
By the way,
five
girl
MVPs.
thing.
You better put some
Peyton-
respect on it.
Just saying. Yeah, he was fine. He was good.
He was fine.
He won what? 2 Super Bowls
Correct. That's correct.
technically.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Two
one
rings.
that he won, he had a quarterback rating that year of like 21.6, whatever it was, garbage.
Yeah, something like that. It was really bad.
Him and Eli both have 2. By the way, how insane is that? Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowls, and he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. What a joke!
Yeah.
I can't stand that. I hate Eli Manning so much. God damn, I hate the Giants. It sucks.
I'll tell you what Peyton has that neither one of these other guys that we're talking about has, and that's 5 MVPs. That's a personal accolade.
Well, that is the one thing. If you look back on Tom Brady's stats, he's got a lot of years where it's like 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 27 touchdowns, 11. I mean, it's not gaudy stats.
Yeah, he's
but
like
they just
average.
won
Like
games.
typically average, like pedestrian stats
So, I mean,
usually.
Yeah, I mean, Peyton Manning put up the empty stats, so you're right there. I mean, it's empty stats mean something. And speaking
for
of empty
sure.
stats, hey, this is a perfect segue right into Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
Because-
yes. So big, huge blockbuster trade happened over the weekend.
The empty stat MVP.
Yeah, the empty stat MVP, Matthew Stafford, traded to the Rams for Jared Goff. Now, you were talking about the other week what Carson Wentz's trade stock is or would be. The Rams, or I'm sorry, the Lions got who got 2 first-round picks?
So, yeah, the Lions got 2 firsts,
The
and I
Lions did.
believe maybe 2/3, 1/3.
They got 2 first-rounders for Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff.
Right.
That's bizarre.
It's crazy. And this is why, so this helps and hurts my case.
I wanted to get it right because
Carson
it's so
Wentz worth a
crazy.
first-round pick.
I wanted to get it right because it's so crazy. It doesn't like when you say it out loud that the Rams gave 2 first-round picks and Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. It doesn't make logical sense to say that out loud to me.
Right. It's insane.
So bizarre.
And there are salary things that factor in. It's complicated. It's as complicated as the Wentz contract thing is. Basically, the Lions are committed to a lot of money for Jared Goff, and I'm not sure if the Rams are on the hook the same way the Eagles were on the hook for Wentz. So, yeah, the Lions have to pay a lot of money for Goff going forward, but maybe only for 2 years. After 2 years, they can cut him. It's done. I think it's a good gamble. I mean, they're going to need a quarterback. If he's the guy, you'd rather have a guy that's kind of established and young. And if you need to sign him long term, go for it. If he's no good, you can cut him. There's no risk there. The picks make all the difference. I mean, we're getting to the point where the Rams, Goff was the Rams' last first-round pick in 2016. They're not going to have another first-round pick till 2024. They just traded it all away for Jalen Ramsey, now for Matt, and it's just That's not the way to build a team. I
the
love the Lions going forward with Goff and a ton of picks. This is the way you build a team from the bottom to the top. This is what you do.
For the Rams, this is the stupidest trade I've ever heard of in my life. In my life.
And Matt Stafford is not that big an upgrade.
No,
You look at his
no.
stats.
Dude,
I was shocked to see that Matt Stafford made one Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is the easiest thing to make in the world. I mean, half the guys don't want to play. They don't want to play the damn game because they don't want to get hurt. So it goes down. It's whispered down the damn lane. The 10th best quarterback in the NFC makes the Pro Bowl.
Dude, he's been
the first 8 guys don't want to play.
Matthew Stafford's been hurt so many times, not like career-ending injuries or anything like that, but he's been banged up. The dude's been around in the league for a long time. I don't know how many years he's played in the league, but he's been playing Thanksgiving every year for a long time. I know that. It feels like a long time.
He's got a perpetual limp. He's always hurt.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a good quarterback. But to me, whatever upside they saw in him to give what they gave, let me see. The Rams got Matthew Stafford. That's it. Detroit receives Jared Goff, 2021 third-round pick, 2022 first, and 2023 first.
Yeah.
That is bizarre. You have to think that Matthew Stafford is win now, or either that or Rams are planning on just rebuilding for the next 3 years. Like, that's the only other option I can see. They're just like, well, this whole Jared Goff thing's not working out. Let's just get rid of. And see, that can't be what they're doing because they gave away all their picks.
They have a great defense, and they need to win now. And I get that. And Matt Stafford, we feel like he's been around forever. He should be 38 years old. He's 32. He came into the league very young. So it kind of makes sense that if they think that he just needs a good team, a good environment to succeed, that he's going to be good for many more years. Totally possible. This could be like a kind of, late game Drew Brees thing. I get it. But it's such a risk. Jared Goff wasn't that bad. I mean, looking at his stats, he wasn't all that good. He wasn't that great. I was shocked to see how mediocre his last 2 years were when I looked back on this trade and saw the stats for both guys involved.
Matt Stafford's never won a playoff game. I'm looking at right now. He's made the playoffs 3 times, and he's lost all 3 times in the wild cards. How, if you're the Rams and you're looking at that, how can you possibly think that this is an upgrade plus all these picks?
It's kind of crazy.
Whoever made this trade, whoever authorized it, needs to be fired today.
But what I'm wondering is, it must be a financial thing, because Deshaun Watson, you could have had him for the same deal, but I think he might have been too young and just too expensive. It might have just come down to dollars.
He's 68, 78, and 1.
Yeah.
And he had Megatron.
And since then, it's been all downhill. But now here's the question. Now this helps and hurts my argument over Carson Wentz. I said, you get a guy like Carson Wentz, he's worth a first-round pick. He just is. So you got sorry, when I drink, I stutter a little bit. I apologize. But Matt Stafford was a former number 1 overall pick, and he gets Jared Goff, 2 first-round picks, a third, all this. And on the surface, you'd think, well, shoot, Carson Wentz has to be worth a first. But then Jared Goff was part of that deal, who was picked 1 pick ahead, who actually made a Super Bowl. Carson Wentz did not as a starter. It makes you wonder, which side of this trade do you believe to make Carson Wentz more valuable or not? And looking back, and I know I'm a homer, I get all that stuff. I'm going to overvalue Carson Wentz, fine. But if you look back at Jared Goff's stats in comparison to Carson Wentz, Carson Wentz had 1 bad year. can we just forget last year? Is that possible? I mean, if you look back at Jared Goff's last 2 years, mediocre. They're not that great. That's what the Rams were looking at. And they said, we need to move on. Carson Wentz had one bad year. Before that, arguments could be made that he would have been top 5 for MVP. We talked about this before. Last 5 games of the year, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Last 5 games of the year where they needed to make the playoffs. They needed to win. First playoff game, he gets a concussion through no fault of his own. I get it. If he's healthy, if he's good going forward with all that stuff, Carson Wentz is still that guy. I think he has a chance to still be that guy. So are you telling me that Carson Wentz is not worth 1 first-round pick?
Dude, he's worth the entire farm system. He's worth every pick that you can give away if Matthew Stafford got what he got.
But what makes it confusing is that Jared Goff was part of the deal. Jared Goff was picked 1 pick ahead of Carson Wentz in the draft.
Right.
Jared Goff, I think they kind of think of Jared Goff and Carson Wentz as kind of the same guy. But you look at the stats, Carson Wentz went to levels Jared Goff never reached. I mean, Jared Goff made the Super Bowl, but even that year, he wasn't that great.
Right.
Carson Wentz was a multi-Pro Bowler. Jared Goff not. And he was a runner-up for MVP. Jared Goff was never in the conversation. I'm telling you, 2019, Carson Wentz could have been considered for MVP, but the team just wasn't that good. But they had nobody at wide receiver. This is insane to me. My argument has always been, I'm on the trade Carson Wentz bandwagon, fine. I believe Jalen Hurts is that good. But it's because I believe Carson Wentz is also that good. I believe he can help another team. He was so damn good with no wide receivers at all in 2019, throwing to no one. And I just think one more year of that broke him. You can only do it for so long. When you're throwing to no one, and Zach Ertz was gone. Zach Ertz took the year off. You know, he didn't not try, but Zach Ertz was not Zach Ertz in 2020. So not only did he have no wide receivers, he had no Zach Ertz. Dallas Goedert was hurt half the year. He had nobody. It broke him.
Yeah.
But he can be rebuilt. So I think Carson Wentz can be a great quarterback again. And I think it's crazy when people say he's worth a 3rd or 4th round pick. That's just insane. If I'm another team, I want Carson Wentz on my team. If I'm the Browns, I'm this close to thinking I want Carson Wentz ahead of Baker Mayfield. And that may be insane. That may be the homer in me coming out. It may be the whiskey I'm drinking right now. But I think Carson Wentz has a ton of talent. He just needs talent around him.
Well, I agree. Let's go to the week and get out of here.
Might Be Sports presents the greatest of all time
Of the week. All right, my clear-cut go to the week this week. Doc Rivers was just named NBA Eastern Conference Coach of the Month. Shout out to Doc Rivers. Clear cut go to the month. I'm excited to start talking about Sixers, man. They're doing real good. They look real good. I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I'm glad that the NFL season's coming to an end, but I'm excited to start talking about some basketball and kind of dive into that a little bit because it's been an interesting NBA season just this past week. There's been a couple game winners that was kind of fun to watch, the highlights for and everything like that. It's been a good NBA season. I'm excited for it to see what happens next. Doc Rivers is doing a great job so far with the Sixers, so shout out to Doc Rivers. What do you got?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be sad. I'm sad to see the football season go. That's my bread and butter. I love it. It's a nice thing to have in the winter time when, there's not much going on, especially during COVID when, you can't go out to bars. You can't do a goddamn thing. Football was there for us.
Yeah.
So it's sad to see that go. So, yeah, I mean, I have no go to the week because every other sport, every other athlete pales in comparison to the NFL. It's
Wow.
just the best. I love it so much. I guess I'll go with Doc Rivers because you said it. Fine. If I have to have one, fine. But I got to be honest. I'm not looking forward to the NBA season with no NFL, but I will because the Sixers are great. They have a chance to figure this out. Their team is so damn talented. You look at other teams around the league. The Brooklyn Nets right now are a disaster. You can't just fill guys in and expect it's going to work. Their defense right now, I believe I saw on ESPN, I forget what the stat was, but something along the lines of this early in the season, they have the worst defense of all time.
Wow.
It's not working out.
Yeah.
And it makes sense when you look at who they have on that team, and you add James Harden, one of the worst defensive players, combined with his offensive output of all time, and then Steve Nash as your coach. Like, holy crap, that might be a recipe for disaster. You need to be fully balanced to win this thing. So
Yeah.
I think that's what I loved about Doc Rivers coming to Philadelphia is that he's that guy. He's been around the block a time or two. He knows what he's doing. He's a vet. He knows you need to have a balance of both. And he's been in that position to do both. So I think they can figure this thing out. They can stay healthy. They have the talent. We've been saying this for years. They have the most talented roster in the NBA. They just need to make it happen. And this could be the year. I don't know. It all seems to come down to LeBron James. So hopefully this is the year where he just says, you know what? I'm freaking tired. Give it up to somebody else.
We'll see. Well, we'll see who wins the Super Bowl, and we'll talk all about it next week, and we'll get into
It's
some
going to
NBA
be
stuff. Chiefs.
So you're going Chiefs.
I'm going Chiefs all day.
All right. I wanted to go Chiefs too, but if we're both going Chiefs, all right, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going Bucks.
All right. Well,
Let's do it.
okay.
Tom Brady all the way.
Sounds good to
Keep it
me.
low, baby.
Great job this week, Reevy. Thank you so much for being on the show with me as always.
And sorry, it might not have been my best effort, but I'm feeling great.
You're doing.
Yes, it does, man.
You did a great job. We're always sponsored by Eunomia CBD. Go to eunomiacbd.com. Use promo code MBN. Get 20% off free shipping and a free gift. Go to mbnnetwork.com. Use no promo code there, but it's never been easier for you to find your new favorite podcast. See you next week, Reevy. Peace out, man.
Love you.
Have a good week, everybody.